Hello, everyone. Welcome to MBI 606 for the summer of 2020. My name is Kevin Connor. I'm the adjunct instructor who will be teaching this course. I just want to kind of give you an introduction to myself, a little bit of my background, and then briefly what we'll be covering in this class. But myself, as I said, I'm Kevin Connor. I've had over 35 years in the information technology field. That means two things. One, I have a lot of experience and seen a whole lot across the spectrum in the information technology field. It also means I'm pretty old. Um, I have over 9 years managing large corporations and their business intelligence environment. So that would kind of make business intelligence my expertise. That is what I've been focusing on, like I said, for the last 9 years. And I feel very comfortable teaching this class and being able to pass on some of the key items that's going on in the industry and some of the, I'll call the foundational things you'll need to really understand business intelligence and what it needs to do. A little bit about myself. I have been married to my wife, Nancy, for 33 years. We live in Erlanger, Kentucky. I have 3 children. I have my daughter, Caitlin. She's 30. She's a Hamilton County prosecutor. And she has just recently given us our first grandchild, Colton. So we're really excited about that. I have a son, Travis, 27. He's an account executive at Ace Door Logistics. My daughter, Mackenzie, she's starting her senior year at the University of Louisville here in the fall. As I mentioned, I live in Erlanger, Kentucky. I used to have about a 33-mile commute to work. And that was a long day. It took, 45 minutes in the morning, maybe an hour at night to get home. So one of the few good things for me out of the COVID-19 world we're living in right now is I work from home. So I have 2 flights of stairs to get to my office and go there. So there's been a lot of bad things that have happened with COVID-19. Obviously, first and foremost, all the folks who have lost their lives. Restrictions of things we can do. But for me, it has saved me a significant amount of my commute time. So for that, I'm eternally grateful. Again, my work experience, as I mentioned, I'm managing the enterprise business intelligence team for Kroger. Kroger, if you're not aware of them, which you probably are if you live in this area, is a Fortune 17 company. We are the largest pure grocery chain in the United States. And we have nearly, I think this part is official, almost 500,000 employees across the enterprise. And we have retail locations in over 38 states. And now with our ship to home and shipped options, we can actually service all of the 50 states and parts of Canada and actually a little part of Mexico as well. Prior to working at Kroger, I worked for Cincinnati Financial Corporation. I was the senior manager of business intelligence and reporting systems there, a very similar role, a little bit different. I had a different scope of what I did. I get into a lot more of the end user visualization tools now. Back at Cincinnati Financial, I was really more on the getting the data from the sources, pulling them over, curating them and putting them in a format into a warehouse to make it usable, but it's still very similar field, very similar things to kind of give me the whole spectrum in the business intelligence world. Prior to that, I spent 9 years at a company called Balluff. Balluff is in Florence, Kentucky, off of Industrial Roads. I was a director of information technology. It's about a $430 million manufacturer. Make industrial sensors and transducers. So the easiest thing to think about when you think about that is think about the laser pointers on your garage doors, those type of things that set sensors off. It also allows the transducers work on things like garbage trucks. If you've ever seen the garbage truck that smash things, the things that pull them up and down, those would be using some Balluff's transducers. And again, prior to that, to give my whole spectrum, I worked at Starkist Foods. Starkist Foods was a division of the Heinz Corporation. It was in Newport, Kentucky. If you're down by Newport on the levee and you're facing the river and look to the right, there's really only one high-rise building, so to speak, about an 8-story building there. That was where Starkist Foods had its headquarters. Starkist is now since been bought and is part of the Kraft Heinz Corporation. Actually, I think the back of things StarKist piece has now been separated out. There's two pieces of StarKist. There was StarKist Seafood and StarKist Heinz Pet Products. The Pet Products has stayed, I believe, with the Kraft Heinz, but the actual seafood has moved on to another company in itself. Prior to that, I started my career at GE Aviation. I worked at GE Aviation back then, those aircraft engines, in 1984 as a co-op, and I spent a good deal of time there before I moved on. GE Aviation was a great place to work, incredible training. But if you know anything about GE Aviation in that industry, it's a very up and down industry. I was able to move on before that was affected me, but also sometimes can be a very stressful place to work. Some of my educational background is I have an MBA in Information Systems from Xavier University. Go Musketeers, hoping their basketball season's a little better this year than last. I have my undergraduate degree actually from Thomas More College. I spent my first 2 years at St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer, Indiana. I had gone there to play college football. And sadly, St. Joseph's College is no longer in existence. It's been it was a great college for over 100 years, and sadly, it closed its doors a few years back. So I missed that. A little bit about me, miscellaneous about me. I've either coached or announced footballs for 27 of the last 31 years. I really love football, especially high school football. I also teach a class at Thomas More University. Similar classes, business intelligence, data warehousing, those things. I'm a sports nut in general, so this COVID-19 thing has been tough for me because not a lot of sports on. But I'm hoping that as baseball's starting to come back and things on, that things will get better for the fall. Because if we lose college football, that might be too much for me to take. At the bottom here, you'll see my cell phone, which is where the best way to get a hold of me. Now, I may not be able to answer it immediately because if I'm at work or I'm in meetings, which I'm in a lot of meetings right now, especially because we're all remote. And then there's my home number. My home number I almost never answer immediately, but I do check the messages probably once a week. I use it most for telemarketers so they can call there and I can delete their messages. Feel free to call me or text me if you need to get a hold of me. I'll usually get back to you with almost always within 24 hours. Thanks, and please don't be shy about reaching out if you have any questions or concerns about the content or any questions you have. I'll be glad to help. Thanks, and have a great day.